All right, Kamiley, thank you so much for running the show for us. We really appreciate it. But I just want to welcome everybody. You guys are in for a treat for the next 30 minutes as we share with you some incredible information that can help support our horses. We have a huge horse community of people, and we just want to be able to educate and share with you guys about this amazing product that is essential to our horses' health. And we have a amazing guest speaker that is going to be sharing some incredible information as well. So before we get into that, I just want to introduce myself really quick. My name is Jenny Field. I am a Pro 4 with LifeVantage. This is our amazing company. And we are going to be talking to you guys today about Protandim Nrf2 and how we utilize that product in our horse community. And that is really what got me involved in this company and looking at these products because one of our horses, I have two daughters, and they both barrel race. And one of our horses that was a barrel racer about 3 years ago suffered a severe injury, and she broke a bone in her foot. It's called the navicular bone. She broke that bone in her foot, and we went through many vet trips, lots of rehab. We were told by one vet that the horse would probably never ever compete again. And we just weren't satisfied with that. And so we went to another vet, and this vet told us, if you follow this rehab, if you allow time for the horse's body to heal, you will succeed and you will be able to compete on this horse again. And so that's what we did. It took a year for that process to happen, but we were patient. But then we were ready to get her back into the competition world and for my daughter to start riding her again. But I wanted something for this horse to support her body. So I started searching, and what do? You go online, right? But what I found was a close friend of mine that I went to high school with was sharing about how Nrf2 activation was helping the horses that she had. And I was like, tell me more, tell me more. And I dove into learning more and more about this. And we put our horse on it. Her name is Lily. We've got some slides, but we might be having a little bit of a hard time pulling them up. So I definitely could do that if we need to. There we go. We're getting it. Perfect. Our horse's name is Lily, and this is her right here, you guys. This is my daughter, Haley. She's 15 years old. She barrel races. And this is after Lily had been on Protandim Nrf2 for 1 year. We were able to get her back in the arena and competing. And so this is really what drove me to, one, wanting to share more about these amazing and incredible products, and two, get it into the horse community. It is amazing what it does in our animals' bodies. And we have an amazing guest that's going to be sharing the science, and she's so much better at explaining it than I am. But this is really why I chose to do this business, and it has completely radically changed my life, our horse's life, and I just love sharing this information. So that's enough about me. I would like to just pass over to Alice Beretta. She is an equine an equine veterinarian. She is a dear friend of mine. I have had the privilege of just getting to know this dear lady. But she has been practicing equine veterinarian for the last 18 years. She graduated from the University of Georgia College of Veterinary Medicine in 2002. And this is her amazing family right here. She has two incredible boys, a husband that supports her in everything she does. And she shares this in her practice every single day. So I am going to pass this over to Alice, and she's going to share with you guys all this incredible information.
Hi, thank you. Thank you, Jenny, for such a wonderful introduction. I'm so excited to share this information with all of you and just how it's radically changed my practice and the way that I approach equine health. And, everything that we're talking about today applies to horses, but it also applies to people and dogs and cats and really all of us here on earth that are breathing oxygen and have to deal with oxidative stress. So, I guess just a little bit about me. I am an equine veterinarian, own my own practice, just kind of burning the candle at both ends. I love, love, love what I do, but it is quite a juggle um, with two younger boys that are busy and active also. And I absolutely love it. But at some point in my career, you just get a little frustrated because Western medicine has its limitations. And I always kept asking myself, I always had this huge emphasis on prevention. What can we do to make sure that we don't fall down that slippery slope of disease? What can we do what can I do? What can I tell my clients? And they always had some interest in, buying some supplements and supporting their horses in different ways. And I spend so much time with just education. And it was very, very tricky because people would bring their tubs of supplements out of their tack rooms, and I would look at all the labels and have to go home and do research. And it was so difficult because none of those branded supplements really could prove the quality of the ingredients, and the studies were kind of borrowed science. And it was just very difficult to help guide people and what they can do to help their horses. And so when this came to me and I read all of the peer-reviewed studies about Nrf2 activation and Protandim, which is the supplement that I would like to share with you guys today, I was floored. I was blown away because you just don't see that. You see it from a pharmaceutical standpoint. There's lots of research and studies on pharmaceuticals, but not really on herbs and plant-based nutrition. And so for me, that was a game changer. And I read the science, I was intrigued, and then when I saw what happened to my patients when I put them on it, that really blew me away and just really gave me a gigantic tool in my truck to help my patients when Western medicine had kind of reached its limit. So it's very exciting. I have just a quick PowerPoint on why this is significant, why you should know about it, and how it can help our horses. So, but really what's at the root cause of all of this, when you're looking at health, you're looking at helping your horses at a cellular level, because that is the root of the health. If you have healthy cells, you have healthy organs, healthy tissues, and a healthy horse. So what affects all of us, our horses included, is oxidative stress. And most people don't really realize what oxidative stress is, but it's when our bodies are overcome by free radicals and our body is unable to remove them for the environment, from our cellular environment. And then we have this oxidative damage, this cellular damage. And it's similar to when you cut an apple in half and you watch it brown. So that is that slow oxidation that is happening to our cells all the time. Every time we breathe, it's part of our metabolism. So from a human standpoint, you see that big number, that 300 sextillion free radicals a day. That is how many we produce. And all of those free radicals, if they are not removed quickly, are damaging our cells. And this imbalance is what we call oxidative stress. So how does oxidative stress affect your horse, and why is it significant? And one of the things to think about is that no matter what the age of your horse is, it is battling this oxidative stress. Whether it's an old retired horse, the older they are, the harder it is for them to combat these free radicals. And that is really the definition of aging. But then we have young horses. Most of them, have a pretty tough life. They're competing, they're traveling, they're working, exercise in itself can produce oxidative stress. But some of the diseases that we see that the root causes oxidative stress are metabolic diseases. You guys might be familiar with Cushing's and metabolic syndrome. Those are all things that many horses have to face at some point in their lives. Inflammatory airway diseases like equine asthma, problems with their eyes, uveitis, even, skin cancer. We see a lot of neoplasias in horses, osteoarthritis, and that's a big one. We really want our horses. It's so heartbreaking when our horses have a long life, but not a long quality of life. They're young horses that have lamenesses, and it really shortens not just their useful life with their owners, but their quality of life. Tendon injuries is a big one, and just, fatigue, exercise related fatigue, and like I said earlier, sarcoids and other tumors. So how do we fight oxidative stress? So one of the tools we're all familiar with, right, are antioxidants like vitamin C, vitamin E, omegas, the flavonoids. A lot of those are in our supplements that we use in horses. But what most people don't realize is there are two types of antioxidants. There are those direct antioxidants that we take, but then there are indirect antioxidants, and those are those big antioxidant molecules that our bodies make. Those are the ones that are effective at reducing those free radicals. And the reason is, and this is a kind of an easy analogy to think about, is if you had a huge barn fire, your direct antioxidant is like throwing a Dixie cup of water on the fire. Yeah, you may help a little, but you're not going to make a significant difference. It's a 1-to-1 ratio, one and done, versus your indirect antioxidants are 1 to 1,000 to a million per second. So it's a constant removal of those free radicals, kind of like having a fire hose spraying, several fire hoses spraying that barn fire so that you can really extinguish that fire or that oxidative stress. So that is where Nrf2 comes in. The way that we reduce those free radicals and turn on the production, it's like literally flipping a switch on the production of your antioxidant enzymes, is through Nrf2 activation. And the Nrf2 activator that I use in my practice that has all of these peer-reviewed studies that are incredible is Protandim Nrf2. And Protandim Nrf2 works by flipping that switch on that Nrf2 pathway. And that is how those antioxidants are produced. And it's almost like a DNA wake-up call. And I'm kind of a visual person, so I hope this helps you. But if you can see the little Nrf2 activator is the purple mushroom. So when your cell, when it attaches to the cell, it will allow that little red circle, Nrf2, to be released. And that's why it's called Protandim Nrf2. And when it is released, it can enter the nucleus of the cell, bind the DNA, and turn on those survival genes. And I don't know about you guys, but if you have horses, you know that horses need all the help they can get because survival is not their is not their strength. They are always running through fences or doing things that are not good for them. So horses can use all of the activation of their survival genes that they could possibly take. But those protective survival genes are key, and those are anti-inflammatory pathways, anti-fibrotic or scar tissue, and increasing those antioxidant enzymes so that we can decrease oxidative stress and inflammation. So you're probably wondering what's in it. I'll just go over the ingredients very quickly. Milk thistle, bacopa, ashwagandha, green tea, and turmeric. And you may have heard of some of these different herbs. They're in a lot of different supplements. You may have seen some, in your health food store. But what is so different about this is the synergy of the 5 herbs and how they work together. The reason there are so many studies is because of that specific formula and how it works. And so this is one of my favorite studies that I threw up here. It's actually a paper on just Nrf2, and it discusses, diseases and different things that can be treated or prevented by Nrf2 activation. So it's a great paper just to learn about the pathway itself. But it does talk about Protandim Nrf2 in that paper. And one of my favorite quotes that I think really explains why we're here and why so many people are passionate about this is that Nrf2 may well become the most extraordinary therapeutic and most extraordinary preventative breakthrough in the history of medicine. And this was published by Washington State. And so if you guys like the nerdy studies or want to take a look at that paper, I highly recommend it. Another study I wanted to share with you guys is just oxidative stress and its role in equine medicine. And really just the conclusion of that paper was that your goal is to maintain that antioxidant-oxidant balance. You do not want to have too many oxidants or free radicals damaging your cells, and that will improve your horse's quality of life. So real quickly, just, what are the things that you can expect from decreasing inflammation and oxidative stress in horses? Is improvement in their skin and their coats, increased energy and endurance. A healthier immune system is huge. I see a lot of horses with, skin troubles that clear up quickly, or some of those stubborn, difficult cases that you just don't know what else to do for them. This can make a huge difference and support them in a way that you start to see those improvements that you've been looking for. Better joint health and mobility, reduced joint pain and inflammation, stronger resistance to allergies, which is huge, especially here where we live, where there's a ton of mosquitoes and flies and ants and that sort of thing. Better tooth and gum health is important for these older horses, especially. Better cardiovascular health, increased mental function and alertness, and really anything that is age-related. So our next slide is actually Nissa, and I am gonna let Christy share his story. Christy is a wonderful friend of mine, and this is her pony story. And so I'm really excited for her to share it with you. A little bit about Christy, so she's not a stranger when she pops up here. She is the most wonderful horse owner, dog owner, and just a wonderful person. She's also an environmental toxicologist, so she can really appreciate just how toxic our environments are and how important it is to reduce oxidative stress in this crazy world that we live in. And so Christy, if you could jump on and share Nissa's story and a little bit about your story, that would be wonderful.
Thanks so much, Alice. You guys, yeah, like Alice said, my background is in environmental toxicology, but before that I was a biologist. And so I still kind of consider myself a biologist. So when I found out about this, of course, it was from Alice. And I was really struggling with my pony, Nissa. He was in a lot of pain, and I was doing everything that I knew how to do to combat this laminitis. He would, I don't know if you've ever seen a laminitic horse, but it's pitiful to watch them. They rock back because their front feet hurt so badly, and he would rock back and be in this weird angle and trying to get the weight off of his front feet. And everything that I knew how to do, which was, get him off sugar and get him off the pasture, none of it was working. And I was at my wit's end. And so when Alice came out, she said, hey, I know about this supplement. It's a human supplement, but maybe it would help him. And then she said about this supplement, and that really got my attention. I said, well, please send me the studies. And that was on a Friday. I spent the entire weekend diving into the studies and was completely blown away by what I saw in those studies. I said, how is this a secret? How did I not hear about this already? But the fact is that science just doesn't go fast, unless, like Alice is fond of saying, unless it has to do with cell phone technology, we're not going to hear about it. So I put him on 1 tablet of Protandim a day, and this has been 5 years ago, almost exactly 5 years ago. And he has been comfortable ever since. If it comes to about maybe August, and I don't know if you know about grass chemistry, but grass chemistry goes up in sugar, in a drought. And also horses' cortisol levels rise in the fall because they're getting ready for winter. And he would get a little bit sore, and I would bump him up to 2 for about a month, and we'd be fine. So this has been going on now for 5 years, and he's doing incredibly well. And I'm just so grateful for to Alice for sharing this with me, because you guys, it's so big, and it's not just for horses, it's for people too. And when I put Nissa on it, I put myself on it, I put my whole family on it. But I was having a lot of problems with arthritis myself, and 2 weeks in, I could tell the difference in my fingers. It's just phenomenal. My fingers, my back, it's helped me so much too, and my horses. I'd also like to say that the business side of this, you guys, it's phenomenal. You can tell people about this and help them and help their horses and make money. What's better than that? I mean, so whoever invited you to this call, this Zoom, get back with them if that is intriguing to you, because it's been 5 years since I was employed full time. I used to work in a lab. It was super high stressful. It was so bad that I was taking Xanax to be able to go to work every day, and I finally had to quit. And that was right before I met Alice. I haven't gone back to work full time. I'm doing this, and I'm working with Alice part time, and that's doing it. It's great. Less stress. So yeah. What was one more thing? Okay. Next slide. Maybe. There we go. Also is Pet Tandem, which is for our dogs, because like Alice said, I love dogs too. The horses and dogs are my life, and I can attest to the amazing power of Pet Tandem. We had an old Jack Russell Terrier. He died last year, but he was 18. He was on Pet Tandem for the last 4 years of his life, and I know deep in my heart that we got those extra 4 years with him because of this product. So in conclusion, help your horse rely on his natural defenses today, and your dog and yourself. Thanks, you guys.
That was amazing. I just want to wrap up the call today and just say thank you so much to Dr. Alice Beretta for the knowledge that you have, the passion that you have for this product, and sharing it with your clients. And Christy, thank you so much for your story. I just want to say what I love so much about using Protandim Nrf2 on our animals is there's no placebo effect with them. You're able to see the results, and your animals are able to feel those results, and you can just get so much out of it. And so to be able to see all that when you're giving it to one of your animals is incredible. And not only for our animals, but these products are incredible for us as humans. They do so many things as far as opening up those pathways inside of our body and helping our cells on that cellular level. So we just want to thank everybody for joining us today. If you have questions, please, get back with the person that invited you. You can message Alice Beretta directly. I know she's happy to answer all the horse-related questions because we send all of those to her anyways. But I just wanted to also touch on, if you need to, you can do a loading dose on your horses. So we're using the human version, the bottle, instead of that Pet Tandem version. We're using the human version on our horses. And you can do a loading dose if you need to. So increase that to 2 or 3 tablets a day for a while, then you can back off. And then that, maintenance dose of 1 tablet a day is usually beneficial for those horses. when I go, when my daughters go into competition, we'll up it because they're going into competition and they're increasing that oxidative stress in their bodies. So it's just an extra layer of protection for maybe that particular weekend. But thank you all for joining us, and I hope everybody has a wonderful day.
Awesome call, you guys. Yay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you
Jenny,
so
for
much.
hosting.
Yes, that was awesome. I loved it.